Yemi Bakayoko, oh yo, Samina Mina, Edward Mende, Samina Mina Sam Sadakte. He comes from Senegal.
And I think going out and get Saul was the top transfer of the market for Chelsea.
Chesney could have been in the shower smoking a cigarette like he was at Arsenal, and we still would not have scored.
My rants have been fueled by Scott. Don't get it twisted.
Big Rom. Man, fuck you.
In Roman we trust, right?
You and me are going to have a battle royale about Jorginho and diving.
The flag stays down!
Welcome to the Flag Stays Down podcast. Matt, happy Canada Day. Happy pre-4th of July here. Got ourselves a heck of a CONCACAF weekend. But as always, you got me, Andy, and as I mentioned, Matt. Matt, how you doing?
Happy Canada Day. God. I'm doing good. I actually had a weekend alone. My wife took the little one up to visit her family for the weekend, so got to just hang out with the dogs, just kind of relax, do some stuff around the house. Got my the ceiling in my basement all painted and everything like that. No, I didn't do it myself. For those of you wondering why, because it's not like actual drywall. It's like the floor joists. We're keeping everything exposed, kind of in the rec area. So yeah, I definitely paid somebody to do that. But it's all done now. Looks really good. So I'm pretty excited about that. But and today was my mom's birthday. So shout out to Leslie. So went and saw her for a little bit, hung out, did some grilling. We on the way back home from my parents, hit up Ray's Butcher Shop. We're both big fans of Ray's and their selection. So we went there and picked up some stuff. So fired up the grill and kind of gave her hell. But that's pretty much the weekend. Collins, how about you? What were you up to?
Went out for some early. Well, actually, man, I don't even know. We went out to father-in-law's house, catch some fireworks. But now that I think about it, they might have been Canada Day fireworks. They were yesterday. No, those are good. Went out spent some time out on the boat. Aiden got some tubing in, then getting ready for the party they're hosting on Tuesday. So too fast of a weekend. I'll just put it that way. But Matt, as always, a lot of transfer news this week. Had some big ones come in today, especially Christian Pulisic on the heels of the final game of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. Is that what we're in right now? Pulisic not playing in that, but in the theme of United States of America, Pulisic rumored to be going to Olympique Lyonnais. The funny thing about this to me is the difference in transfer fee offered. Lyon, with the American investors, clearly very interested, offers up £25 million. AC Milan, the only other suitor, offering up £12 million. Matt, if you're Todd Bowley, where are you selling Christian Pulisic to?
Let me think. I can get double the money for the same player. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. Send him to France and just be done with it. I know he's agreed to personal terms already with AC Milan. If they can get AC Milan up to the same as Lyon, fine. Then the only thing that we're waiting on is the transfer fee. Lyon, I don't think personal terms have been agreed, so that might make it a little bit more difficult. But I think if you have a team saying, yeah, we want 25 and you're offering 12, yeah, bump up AC Milan, make them pay the 25, and then go from there.
Yeah, I don't see, even from Christian's perspective, I don't see Lyon as necessarily a negative option. They had a down season last year. I believe they finished 8th in Liga ME. But they're consistently, Matt, to quote you, a club that challenges for European competition. Except they actually do. Usually a Europa League or Champions League team. And they're spending major money to rebuild that squad. So if I'm Christian, I think Liga 1 is a great league for what he does. You just look at, I hate to make this comp, but you look at somebody like Neymar or an Mbappe, somebody who's not afraid to go at people, somebody who's good on their feet, quick on their feet, and that's Christian Pulisic when he's healthy. So I think the league fits him, and obviously the money fits us. So yeah, I'm all for that, as opposed to Serie A America.
Yeah, I mean, would he fit in at AC Milan? Probably, but again,
be sitting behind Leao.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Lyon is the better option, mainly because we get more money that way. But to each his own. If he wants to go to Italy, so be it. But they're gonna have to pay.
Now, I did see an interview with that he had with Herculez Gomez asking about coming to MLS. Matt, did you catch this one at all?
I did not.
It was on Herc's podcast. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, so I apologize to Herculez Gomez. But asked if MLS would be an option for him. He basically said, "Nah, like I still have a lot of years in front of me. I'm not ready for MLS." He did say he would consider after the 2026 World Cup, though, which, oh my God, if we're letting history repeat itself here with just bringing home all the American players after the World Cup, we're not making the 2030 World Cup, right? Is that how that works?
Yeah, the old Toronto FC methodology. Yeah, bring Josie Altidore, bring Michael Bradley, and yeah, that they just shit the bed.
Deuce to Seattle, and
yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah, so MLS, stay away. Though who knows with Inter Miami what they're gonna do.
Very true.
The other bit of transfer news, this one went under the radar a little bit, was the signing of apparently the new Neymar, or the up and coming Neymar, Angelo out of Santos. Not a great goal scoring record as a teenager playing in Brazil. 2 goals in 32 appearances, mostly as substitutes.
He'll fit in perfectly here.
Exactly. But from what I'm seeing from fans out of Brazil, the 15 million that we paid for him is pissing a lot of Brazilians off, that it should have been higher. He's apparently very highly rated domestically in Brazil, but honestly, I don't know a lot about him outside that he doesn't score a lot of, or hasn't scored a lot of goals, but is very highly touted. Seems to be headed to Strasbourg on loan after we sign him, though, which multi-club model starting already. Anybody
motion?
Yeah. Is there anybody that you think in the current setup would be fit to join Angelo at Strasbourg now that they have Patrick Vieira as a manager?
I think, we talked about this last week. I think Datro Fofana is going to be, whether they run 2 strikers or they just have both of them, I think that would be good for both their development. I like having Patrick Vieira there, somebody that has played in the Premier League, has coached in the Premier League, and can get them ready for what they need to expect and help them develop. So I'm excited by that. I forgot. Can you remind me where Caicedo is going? He's going.
It hasn't been announced yet.
Oh, I thought I saw that he was going on loan. But I could be wrong. I think if you can ship out kind of one of our midfielders, one of our younger midfielders out there, I think that would definitely help as well, kind of create a little bit of a partnership. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is with some realistic feasibility is Dr. Fofana.
Yeah, I like Dr. Fofana. There seems to be smoke around him going there, especially as a natural French speaker, and with Nicholas Jackson and apparently another striker at some point coming in here. Yeah, I guess that outside of maybe Gaga Slonina to get some first team minutes, it has to be one of those midfielders. And I don't know, the word is that we are not interested in Caicedo going to a championship club. I don't know if Strasbourg would necessarily fit in that same tier. Probably, I would say. So yeah, I'm not sure about Caicedo, but maybe it's a good transition point for Andre Santos.
Yeah, that's a good name to bring out there. I mean, then you have that Brazilian connection, so yeah, that's a really good call.
And even if you make it a 6-month loan or a 1-year loan with option to call back in January, then if he's really impressing, you've got the option to yank him if necessary. But with the way we've trimmed the squad, I think there's a lot more opportunities for these young guys domestically than there was at this point last year.
Right. No, I completely agree. I think, the the influx of cash that we now got by getting rid of a lot of our players, and that opens up a lot of spots. And we'll obviously use those funds to keep building a better squad and a more youthful squad at that. So yeah, I mean, things are kind of wide open. I mean, the only thing that's not wide open is the door for Hakim Ziyech apparently to leave Chelsea. So I mean, he might just be on the bench, but you can probably outplay him.
How long is it before we get the report that Hakim Ziyech is waiting outside of PIF headquarters for the transfer to go through?
Next week, Friday. He was left there overnight.
Yeah, dude, that guy just can't catch a break.
Rough go.
So I think outside of Ziyech, that's going to be potentially our last major sale. Mount is going to be announced apparently either at the time of release of this pod or a little bit later this week, going to Manchester United. But I can't think of another player who's leaving. Dave recently announced going to Atletico Madrid. I think that's it.
Yeah. Have you, now that you mentioned Dave, have we heard anything about Cucurella yet?
I've heard that he's staying for now.
Okay.
I know Ian Maatson is coming back, and him and Colwill are both looking for guarantees on playing time, which maybe we transition to that right now, because so Levi Colwill has been offered a new contract. Ian Maatson has not been offered a new contract. He signed a new one last year before going out on loan to Burnley, but both are coming back from loan this year, and both have requested meetings with Pochettino to discuss what their playing time, look for guarantees on playing time. Otherwise, both are looking for moves out of the club on a permanent basis. Man, I don't know what it is about Cobham, but I'm starting to notice a trend here, starting with Mason Mount. Ruben Loftus-Cheek seems to be the last good one to come out in terms of mentality. But a lot of requests for guarantees of playing time and wanting out at a very early age. Is there something going on at the youth ranks, do you think?
I don't know. This, to me, I think this goes back to the whole concept of this being a generational thing. I get it. You want to play. You want to play for Chelsea. I get it. But sometimes you're either not at that point yet and you still need time to develop, or you're just not good enough. So it could be, it's just one of those things. Now, I understand you want guaranteed playing time. You can't guarantee playing time. If somebody goes down, then yeah, next man up, right? But you can't But when you look at who's in front of you, you have to understand, right? It's that whole concept of, stay in your lane. There are people ahead of you on the depth chart. You sometimes have to wait your turn, and they want to play now. A part of me also thinks that with the ridiculous amount of money that is spent in world football these days, they want a piece of that, which I get, right? I completely understand that, but it is just nuts. Looking at something for like the NBA free agency market right now. One player in particular, Dylan Brooks of Memphis, formerly of the Memphis Grizzlies. If you don't know who he is, he's trying to be the villain of the NBA. That's really all he's trying to do. Talk a lot of shit, doesn't show up. I think he had like one game where he scored like 50 and then did absolutely nothing. The worst looking jump shot I've ever seen. It rivals Sean Marion. If you don't know who that is, look it up. It's quite entertaining. But he somehow gets a 4-year, $80 million deal. And you have somebody that's proven, like Russell Westbrook, getting a 2-year, $8 million deal. It's just crazy. Like the amount of money that's going in and out of world football, to and from clubs. They want a piece of it. They want to get paid. I get it, but I don't know. To me, I chalk it up to just a generational thing.
Yeah, I almost wonder if they need to bring in, the first team brought in that mentality coach from New Zealand rugby. I almost wonder if they need something like that, or the NBA and the NFL always have the rookie kind of mental training camps before the season starts, where they come in and they talk about how to handle your finances and how to handle the media and how to maybe Cobham needs something like that, because these boys, man, it was 2 years ago that the U18s were almost relegated, and now this group is looking for assurances to demanding playing time. I think Mattson has a shot. The rumors around Cucurella are that it was fake news, him being offered to Atletico Madrid. Chilwell, you don't know how much of a full season you're going to see out of him. Cucurella, you don't know what Cucurella you're going to see. I think Mattson has a chance at some decent playing time. Center back, I think, is a little bit more rigid. I think Colwell is 4th on the depth chart. I'd put him ahead of Chaloba. But yeah, I'd put Badiashile. Badiashile is coming back from injury. It's maybe third on the depth chart behind Fofana and Thiago Silva. So there's room for playing time, but I wouldn't put him as a guaranteed starter at this point. I think he's got a ton of talent, but not at this point. No. But something's got to give. They need to take a page out of Lewis Hall's book and just play out of position and take what they can get.
Exactly. And he's number 2 on the depth chart for me at left back, but that's a separate thing. But yeah, I mean, just sometimes you just have to wait until you get your opportunity, and they want their opportunity now. And unfortunately, that's not how it works. So again, if they want to be a part of this whole plan, then they'll stay. If they don't, fine, they can leave.
So the other bit of transfer news this week is Moises Caicedo. I feel like this is going to be an ongoing topic on this pod. Fabrizio Romano says that talks between Brighton and Chelsea are set to commence this week. So either today or tomorrow. About Caicedo. Apparently Caicedo is 100% interested in Chelsea. Personal terms shouldn't be an issue, as he has the same agent as Kendry Paez. But agreeing with Brighton is always going to be the issue. Matt, where do you see this transfer saga ending?
Us overpaying.
What's an overpay for you?
For me, I would say I think anything above 80 mil is overpaying. The problem with where we're at now is Declan Rice has reset that market. So who knows? He might go 110, but I think at that point you're really overpaying.
Yeah, I almost wonder if there's going to be something given back to Brighton to lower that fee. We saw how much we've had to scramble here with financial fair play, kind of resetting our budget on that. I honestly don't see Caicedo going for more than about 85 million pounds. Even that I feel is an overpay, because I feel like there are other options, maybe not as ready of options around Europe, but certainly with the same potential as Caicedo, that you can get for much cheaper. But he brings that experience of, well, not only experience, but just for the rules in terms of rosters. He's already a Premier League player. He came up, through Premier League ranks, so to speak. So he counts as a homegrown player. So he, unfortunately, I think that due to that, the price is jacked up, and we're just gonna have to overpay for him. But if he's a guy who pairs well with Enzo, that's kind of all that matters at that point.
Yeah, exactly. It's just don't want to get in the habit of overpaying and then, biting the bullet when we have to sell them.
Now there was, in addition to Caicedo, there was a formal offer sent to Juventus, Matt, as you predicted last week, for Dusan Vlahovic, repping my Serbia kit right now. 60 million euros was turned down by Juve. Do you think the club goes back for a second swipe at it? What do you think the spending cap is for a striker?
I think 70 should be the cap. You have to understand Juve is trying to milk the most out of this because Syria or Syria broke. Everybody's looking for money over in Italy, so they're going to try and get as much as they possibly can. I don't blame them, but I would set a cap at 70.
Yeah, I like that 70 number. We talked about last week that was kind of the market value given by a lot of these analytical and these data sites, like Transfer Market. I like going in low at 60. I wonder if you could turn that into a 60 plus incentives kind of deal. Apparently, according to Calcio Mercato, the main footballing paper out of Italy, Juve are looking for a fee of about 88 after incentives. So you look at a kind of a middle ground, maybe 70 to 75 is decent. But then you gotta worry about big money striker at Chelsea. What kind of issues are you running into there? I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's worth it going for a striker for that amount. We talked about that immediately after Ramos signed, that never again should we pay high for a striker. But I feel like you almost need to after getting rid of Kai Havertz, who is not a striker. But Nicholas Jackson and Datro Fofana cost us a total of 45 million. And then you got Broja, who was free. Mm-hmm. So what's the balance? Do you feel comfortable going after a big money striker, or do you want to just kind of let it ride with what we got?
Yeah, I feel like a big club, you need a big name. These guys aren't big names right now. We still have Aubameyang, but he's not what he used to be. Broja is coming off the ACL, and Datro Fofana is probably going to Strasbourg, and Nico Jackson, we don't know how he's going to adjust in the Premier League. I think you need somebody that's proven to play at the highest level in Europe, and go from there. You need, I think, one big name, one kind of focal point, as opposed to kind of what I think we would have, which would be almost like a revolving door of strikers, kind of week in, week out. Get somebody solidified in that spot and then go from there.
Yeah, I like that, but at the same time, I'm a statistics guy, right? And you look at Chelsea's expected goals last year, playing with a guy as a striker who's not a striker, and we were, I believe we were in top half in chances, but at the same time, we were, I believe, first or second in missed chances. So law of averages tells me that this year should correct, bring us back closer to the mean, or maybe we're converting some of those. And I think a good preseason goes a long way towards that. So I'm not heartbroken if we don't get Vlahovic. I'm not heartbroken if we don't get Osimhen. I would like either one of them, but I feel like just actually having strikers on the roster, out and out number 9s on the roster, is going to go a long way. So I think we're going to score some of those goals we missed out on last year. It's just a matter of keeping those chances.
Correct. Yep.
No, shit. And we have Nkunku.
That's true. Forgot about him.
Always forget.
Yes.
All right. Well, Matt, last thing I want to talk about here before we get into our 5-a-side draft. We got some new kits launching. The home kit, the blue with the white piping, the gold kind of trim. We've certainly seen the workups of that as we progressed here throughout the year. But we got a new look. I believe it's a first look. I haven't seen this one before, of the new away kit, and it seems right up your alley. So I'll let you describe and kind of review this one for me here.
I have to bring it up again. So bear with me for a second, but it is, you're absolutely right. That is definitely my wheelhouse. Black with like a royal blue, kind of 3D design on it. Kind of trippy, but it's a kit I'm gonna get. It's got the Nike logo in white and the Chelsea logo, which looks like it's white. And again, I don't know if the kit is black or navy blue, but it's got the gold piping kind of as the outline. So I really like it. If this does come out soon, I'm probably gonna get it. The only thing that would stop me would be who the shirt sponsor is, because I would prefer to not see steak.com plastered all over the front of it. But that's just me. Overall, though, yeah, that kit, it's definitely going to be one for me.
Yeah, I don't really know how to describe the pattern other than 3D-ish, kind of like a laser light show almost.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
I like it if it's in black. I'm not thrilled if it's navy. That being said, it reminds me of, what was the one, man, we just did our Chelsea kit rankings or kit draft a couple weeks ago, with the vertical light blue that kind of faded as you went up. It's kind of that color blue, which I really like, especially with the gold trimmer on the Nike logo. That's good compliment there. So that on a 1 to 10 rating, what do you rate this kit?
Without the logo?
Yeah, we'll go without.
I would say a 9, only because I don't know if it's a black kit or a navy blue kit.
Okay, solid. Yeah, I'd go similar. I'd go probably an 8. Yeah, I just like the color blue on it. Now, what do you think of the home kit? Again, it's kind of a standard blue. Underneath the arm sleeve and down the side, it's got white piping, gold accents, got the gold Nike, the gold Chelsea logo, and gold accent along the sleeves. Matt, what do you make out of the home design?
I like it. It's clean, it's simple. Bringing back some of that gold accent, I'm a big fan of. So from what I've seen in some of the mock-ups, I like it. I think it's just a very classic kit. Nothing too flashy, but very, very true to form. So I definitely am a fan of it.
See, I'm not, and I think, you know me, I love just a basic, home kit, right? Something just classic. So I like just the standard color blue. I like there's no pattern there, but the white under the arm, down the side. Matt, you and I coached volleyball together for a long time. We played volleyball for a long time. It just reminds me, and I apologize to anyone who coaches volleyball, who listens to this pod. But it just reminds me of some of those broke boy clubs where they buy the super generic, Badger, or God, who's some of the other shitty manufacturers. It's one of those broke boy designs. Nike can do so much better. I'm sorry. Even if this kit would have just been all blue with the gold Chelsea logo, the gold Nike, that would have been fine. And white along the edge of the sleeve, the armhole, that would have been fine. But the white in the armpit down the side is just peak turn of the century broke boy stuff. I'm not a fan. I will not be buying this one.
So the things that I'm seeing, so there's, I don't know, one of the kits, it shows just a little bit, just basically, we're on Zoom right now, so I'm showing Collins physically, but it's just the arm. It doesn't go all the way down to the side. If it's just there, I can live with that. But I understand what you're saying. If it does go from the bottom of the sleeve and then go all the way down to the side, yeah, that'll be a big deterrent. So I think there's still some questions, but we'll have to wait and see. Once it fully does come out, then we'll have a clearer idea. But yeah, I get what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. If it is that side just white, yeah, I would not be a fan. So I think we're looking at some different kits here with the different leagues that we have available to us.
So are we still banking on the mint green third kit? I haven't heard anything about that in a while here.
I haven't heard anything either. If it is, I'd be okay with it. To me, the big question is going to be, what are the shorts? What are the socks? If we do, do we do white shorts with green, with that mint green, and then those same color socks? Do we do black shorts, black socks? Who knows, right? So I think for me, looking at the kit itself, fine. What the whole thing looks like head to toe, that also plays a big factor in it. So if it is a mint green, I'd be okay with it. But yeah, I know some people aren't thrilled by it, but it remains to be seen what it's actually going to look like.
Now I will say, Matt, you and I have been big fans of the training kits the last couple of years. The training kit for next year is fire. If this was our third or even away kit, I would be through the roof. Matt, let me share my screen with you here.
Yep.
So you got the primary base white, black sleeve, gold Nike logo, gold around the collar, gold Chelsea logo, and then this one, it's got Trivago in black across the front. Just very, very clean. It's a very clean kit.
That black or navy?
I believe it's black from some of the other images I was looking at. But oh my God, Matt, make this the third kit right now. This is easily one of the best things Nike has put out for Chelsea.
It does look very nice. I will say that. It almost looks like there could be, I don't know if that's just the watermark or if there's a woven pattern into the sleeves, a very a charcoal almost in the gray or in the black. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan as well. It's got the pattern up on the sleeves, like you mentioned. So that I think that's the first time I'm giving Nike props for what they've done with Chelsea, because the rest has been shit.
Are
All right. Well, Matt, time to turn to the most important part of the pod. That's our five-a-side draft. First of all, congratulations to you on winning our first ever five-a-side draft. Marvel superhero five-a-side. Coming away with damn near 80% of the vote. So blowing me out of the water. So you get to pick this week's draft theme.
Sounds, to be fair, you were entering my wheelhouse when it came to Marvel. So
Oh yeah.
still props to you. That was a very good squad. I would not want to go up against it. All right. So this week we are doing five-a-side fictional sports movie characters.
Okay.
With a manager or a coach.
And it has to be from a movie, correct?
Yes, that's
All
correct.
right. So no Ted Lasso, no Roy Kent, no Jamie Tart.
Correct.
All right. All right. Well, as the winner, you get to start us off.
All right. This is gonna be tough. So for my defender, I'm gonna go with Doug Glatt from the movie Goon, played by Sean William Scott. The premise of the movie, he's basically like the last enforcer, like in hockey. Not very sure-footed. In the movie, he's not good on skates, which is ironic. But he is a guy that just continues to fight. He's your bruiser. Put him on the back line of my defense.
You know, defense is my first pick too. I have no idea who Doug Glatt is. I'm not gonna lie, I've never seen that movie. Sounds like a great pick. But I'm gonna go with another enforcer, a guy who very much reminds me of Antonio Rudiger, and that's Happy Gilmore. Just gives zero fucks, straight blast every time.
Yes. Oh, I love that. So good. Well done. All right. So next I will go with my midfielder. This is a guy who I need to lead the team, right? Lead by example. I mean, the man was an All-American back in his day. Oh, actually, I take that back. He's not really a fictional character. Because the movie was based on a true story. I might have to switch that up. Sorry about that. I threw a wrench into my own plan here. So midfield. I think where I'm gonna go next would be I really just flustered myself with that now. Actually, I take that back. I'm gonna go forward. Can I get Bugs Bunny from Space Jam
In your mid?
as my forward?
As your forward. All right. I like that. Solid all around.
Crafty up top. If anything, he'll just dig some holes and show up where he needs to be.
I'm also going to go forward. I like that you and I are on the same wavelength here. Mine is also an animal, but one who I believe has a perfect winning record, and that's Air Bud.
Oh, that's a hell of a pick.
Just goals on goals out of that guy.
That is a hell of a pick. Very talented. Plays all different sports. Very adaptable. All right. So for I'm gonna do it. I really shouldn't, but I'm going to.
Oh no.
For my goalkeeper, I will go with Julie the Cat Gaffney from the Mighty Ducks. Now, a lot of people would say, why'd you go with Goldberg? He has had some issues. He'd probably be number 2. But for me, Julie Gaffney, she's going to be a stud back there. So that's who I'm going to go with for my 3rd pick.
All right. So I'm gonna go 2 midfielders here. Well, first of my 2 midfielders. First, I need another bruiser, right? I need a whole defensive mid, kind of say, or so to speak. It's gonna be hard to do with Happy Gilmore in defense, but I'm gonna go Bobby Boucher, Waterboy.
Ooh, well done. Well done. All right, I'm gonna go a similar route with a more defense-minded midfielder. Big, strong individual, has a hell of a shot on him, to the point where people get out of the way and duck. Give me Fulton Reed.
All right, now I'm not as good at movies as you are, so give me a refresher here.
Mighty Ducks.
Okay.
He is the one with the wicked slap shot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's who I'm taking. One half of the Bash Brothers.
Ah, boy. All right, so I got midfielder and keeper. Man, I lost my train of thought after Bobby Boucher. All right, I got it. Here we go. From the movie The Sandlot, Benny the Jet Rodriguez, team leader, captain of the squad. Got some jets, high IQ. Absolutely.
That is a sneaky good pick. Sandlot did not even cross my mind, and I am so upset with myself. Wow.
I got there by originally thinking Henry Rowan Gardner.
Oh.
But he's got injury issues, so
He does. I think he's going to be out again for his 3rd Tommy John surgery, so that's probably not a great call. And it's you hate to see it, especially at such a young age. All right, so I need one more midfielder. All right, so thinking about this, I'm trying to figure out what movie I want to go with. That's the primary, like what sport I want to go with. So I think for my midfielder, right, I need somebody with pace. I need somebody who's going to be kind of all over. Might be a little flashy. This isn't a very flashy squad. Might be a little too flashy, but he's got good defense with Fulton Reed in the midfield. And I just lost my train of thought. I had the person picked out and I can't remember now. Oh, this is frustrating. So I can visualize it, but I can't think of the name. Collins, go. I'll let you go with your pick until my mind readjusts itself.
All right. Well, I'm going to go with a guy who honestly scared me as a child. Matt, I'll let you rule on whether or not this is a sports movie. I consider combat sports. So from the movie Bloodsport with Jean-Claude Van Damme, I'm going to go with Bolo Young, who played Chung Lee. Crazy motherfucker in goal. He will literally murder you.
That is so good. I love that movie, by the way. Absolutely love that movie. Oh, I can't think of who my midfielder was. It's so frustrating. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I remembered. Okay. I will take Willie Mays Hayes from the movie Major League.
That's such a good pick.
It's hard to think because like we both love sports movies and we've seen so many of them that trying to cipher through all of them is just near impossible.
I thought about putting Rick Vaughn in goal.
I thought about putting him in defense.
I like it. All right. Well, Matt, you added the stipulation that we need a manager or a coach here. I have a feeling I know where you're going with this, but let's hear what you got.
You need somebody who can have fun, but somebody that can also rally the troops. In case you can't tell by some of my previous picks, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I will take Gordon Bombay as my manager.
Yep, I saw that coming. Absolutely, Mighty Ducks. All right. Well, before I announce mine, I'm going to give an honorable mention to Whoopi Goldberg, who played Eddie in the movie Eddie. She was my runner-up as manager. But keeping it footy related here, from the movie Kicking and Screaming, I'm going to go Mike Ditka playing Mike Ditka.
I thought about that too. I thought about that. I'm like, oh, that's almost too good, but very well done.
All right. Well,
I would say for my honorable mention, the other one would have been Chubbs Peterson. Although his availability is in question right now, but
rest in peace.
Yeah.
All right. Well, to sum it up here, Matt's got Julie Gaffney in goal, Doug Glatt in defense, Fulton Reed and Willie Mays Hayes in the mid, Bugs Bunny as a forward, and Gordon Bombay as the manager. I've got Chong Lee, aka Bolo, in goal. Got Happy Gilmore in defense, Bobby Boucher and Benny the Jet Rodriguez in the mid, Airbud as a forward, and Mike Ditka as the manager. Make sure to vote. Make sure to check us out at Flag Down Pod on Twitter. You've got all week to vote on this. Let us know who's got the best five-a-side squad. The winner will get to pick next week's theme. Maybe we'll have Parker back next week and we can have a three-way draft. But Matt, well done. So
that's a hell of a squad. Looking at it now.
I was not thrilled about this topic when you first gave it out, but that one turned into a fun one. I like that one. All right. Well, Matt, I think that wraps us up for this week. Any closing thoughts?
Stay tuned to the Twitterverse and see what kits are looking like, who the sponsor is, and kind of the news on transfers. It's going to be quite interesting to see what transpires in the coming weeks now that everything is open, FFP is taken care of, and we're good to go. So it should be an exciting summer.
Oh, but Matt, you're not on Twitter. Elon Musk this weekend added a limit to the amount of posts you can see in a day. 600. So
I'm 600 short then.
Don't scroll Twitter too much.
I'll try not to.
All right. Well, speaking of Twitter, make sure to follow us at Flag Down Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Make sure to check us out wherever you get your podcasts: Spotify, Apple, Google, etc. Stitcher's going down, so don't bother with Stitcher. But make sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Those 5 stars do more help than you know. Matt, that's all I got. So cheers to the weekend. Cheers to America. Cheers to CONCACAF.
America.
I'm all potted out.